You're right. It don't want to focus on the moon. It wants to play with it. I didn't see the moon yesterday morning. I saw it the night before when it was right there. So, pretty cool. So, unfortunately, my phone won't pick that up, but it's kind of a yellowish, and it looks like you can see like continents on it. That's just with the bare eye. Little breeze this morning, birds going crazy. 4:45. My head's stuffed up, sprinkler's still going. And yeah, I'm gonna say it's probably some smoke, as there's been a fire going for 2 days east of Portland. And unfortunately, where that sits, I really can't see how far it's in, but I think it's pretty close. And let's say, had it figured, so it should be in around 5 or 6, and it's 5, so I'm gonna go find out. Yeah, it's not in yet, so I'm debating if I go out and speed it up or leave it alone. It should be in by about 7, give or take. And here we go. Little of that nice pink pre-sunrise. And wait for it. That's what I thought looked good. The moon and the flag. There we go. Happy 4th of July. Well, go figure. This has got to come off to mount the new seat. Then I got to make something to space it, because those seat frames fit out to about here, covering up these Zerks. And you got to get to those. Both of these, I cleaned the threads up. I put a little fluid film on them. See if it's going to show what you can see. Now, if you take a look at that stud, yeah, I didn't want it to come apart that way, but that's how it's coming apart. Those studs, I mean, if I recall correctly, they're not into a blind hole, they're into an open hole. So they should have been dab a sealer on them, or a dab of Loctite, something to keep crap from getting in and something to keep them from getting loose, but that's not what happened. So yeah, yay. Now I don't know how the other 2 seats we've got are, if they're keyholed like that. You put the bolts into the pieces and then slide them on. This was slotted at the top and then keyholed, and right there. My issue with stuff like that is it's weak because it's not a full hole. And something like this, my opinion is you should have a flat washer on it just to spread the load a little, and so it'll tighten up right. So if you look down there, that's got a washer on it. Top ones are easy, they'll slide on. These happen to be 13 millimeter head metrics. That's about 1 3/4 inch, I think. 5/16 bolt nosed in there, which leaves just the right head for this to slip in. And carefully slide it in, and if I can see the damn hole, and this hole doesn't line up like the other one did. I gotta do a little wiggling, so I need both hands, but that's the idea. Then tighten them up. Bottom should be easier because it's more accessible. Look, you see, base on this one's a little different than the other one. The other one used a slot and a hole at the back, and was 4 1/4 inches from the face of this to the stud. This one I tried to slot, well, then it'd be on slot in the slot, and I couldn't get it in the right place. Best I could do was the very back of it actually rode up on top of that. So there's actually another hole right here, but then the slot wasn't long enough, so we're at the back of the slot in there. Piece underneath has it up high enough to get to the grease zerks, and piece underneath is actually the old piece off the old seat. I just cut it off, great spacer, made a couple round washers for there. And this seat has a hole just about where I had to drill the one in the other seat. So standing here looking at it, I think it needs to tip back a little. I haven't sat on it yet. That's what I was getting ready to do. And Ty just got done servicing the baler, servicing the rakes, and she actually had the mower already serviced, so all that stuff ready to do something with. And I'm debating on what we're going to do. The little gun is running down by the bridge, right next to where it was. And we talked about running it across the bottom again, but that's 3 full days to do that. And the big gun's in its last setting on the east hayfield. I want to go over that again, but it isn't going to hurt to let that set a day. So I think tomorrow we're going to run the big gun in the bottom and get it covered good, and then go back up and run it back across up there where it's at. That's my plan. You know, they change, but anyway, look at that sexy seat. And we might even be able to put an SMB emblem back on here. Maybe. Well, there it is. It actually went from here to here. It's in the first hole in the inside piece. They did a wonderful job of lining them up. I had to put the bolt in this way, but I was able to get this one started by hand on an angle and got the nut on it so it would stay. This one over here, if you notice, the plate's kind of curved in. Yeah. I had to get a screwdriver in there, prime apart to get it in on an angle, because why? I really didn't want to try to drill it. I mean, drilling a partial hole is a bitch, and getting in here, at least there's room, kind of, but the other thing is, I couldn't hold everything up and drill it all at the same time. So it's in there, it's tight, and it's kicked back just enough. I think any more would be too much. And she got on it and says it's just right, a lot better than it was. And oh, hey, look, her hair's still drying. She got pretty dirty getting things serviced. So this thing is done for now. I mean, she still needs a few little things, but not right now. Something on your what? Oh, her nails don't match the tractor. Although it polishing the tractor up. It'd be about the same without the glitter. And that's what's left of the old seat. What this thing still needs is a new nose cone. And I mean, the only reason this is still in here is because that hasn't broke off yet. The other tractor needs a new nose cone too, which we were going to get a few years ago, and that didn't happen. So that'd probably cost twice what they did now. But that's something we're going to do. Oh yeah, when we first got this tractor, trying to run the tether rake on it, oh my god. You lift the rake up and it was all steering with the brakes. But I had an old set, they've been laying around here, I don't know, 40 years anyway. Put them on, made a world of difference. The other one's got a weight bracket on the front, and actually the weights that we use on the back of the International when we're disking, Dad made those for the front of it. It's got a factory Massey bracket, and when we got the 4010 with the loader on it, you don't need all the weights on the front. So that's what's bolted to that bracket now on the front head. But this one, those are working. It's actually enough weight. We can move the big traveler with this. I actually took it out there once with it. That was enough. I don't need to go down steep hills with it. Not behind this. But anyway, I'm calling this one done for now. We still got to do something with the steering. It doesn't work right. And I don't know what all the previous owner did or he had somebody do. I do know, obviously this line's been replaced. Obviously you can't screw up placement at this end. And I don't remember the other end, and you got to take the whole thing apart to get to that. Hood, fuel tank, air cleaner, everything has to come off to get into that. So I'm not going to do that. We're assuming that maybe the pump's toast. And it appears to be the original pump. It was screwed up when we got it. So a bad new pump that was on the other one, I cut the bung off of it. And that plug and bung are off of a newer pump. And there's JB Weld on there, just because when I carefully soldered it on, since I didn't want to put too much heat on that because I didn't take this off, just to make sure it didn't leak, we did that. It turns okay one way and not so much the other way, but once in a while it turns okay the other way. So I kind of think it's pumped, but I'm not sure. And trying to find those pumps is a pain in the ass. And I'm being nice saying that. The one Silva tractor, first one came, wasn't any good. Oh, well, there's another pallet coming overseas. Well, 6 months later it showed up. That one works fine. I did have the part number for him, but I don't know what the hell it is anymore. And you go to order it, and, oh yeah, you're 6 months to a year. So that's why it just hasn't been done yet. Yeah, you don't see the inside of this very often, but once in a while. Yeah, Willow's laying her dead. And Bristol's on the verge. She's usually up on the bed, but she's finding a cooler spot. That's the issue we had in here last year. This trailer only has one roof mounted, and it's back here, and it's ducted, but the duct's only that big around, and it blows cool at the other end, but not any air to speak of. And it's about 8 feet away, and I can feel that from here easily. Last year we made it up the bottom of that window, but it's one of those, and it couldn't seal it up worth a damn. And since, yes, you're right, I still have not got the bathroom finished, but this window slides up and down. That hose is staying there nicely. It isn't falling out like it did last year. Unfortunately, that's how longer it was. I thought it was a little longer, so we had to take the door off. And this is the smaller of the two. Brooke had one when she was staying in the cook shack. It's still out there. It's bigger. And the plan was to use the bigger one, but it's kind of plumbed into a dryer vent and all that kind of thing. But anyway, cool air in here at the moment. Well, it is 98 degrees outside at 2:15 in the afternoon. And she's here. She's just not in here. She's in Mom's basement. And let's see. Ron stopped by with his wife and son just before Brooke and Matt stopped by to drop Blakely off. We're babysitting Blakely. They are going to the 4th of July races out at Banks. So, anyway, that is, And Becky watched a video on how to take these screens out, and then what does she do? She breaks it. I got a feeling that she was pushing the wrong way. Either way, it ain't that bad. It'll go back in later. A little hammer work will straighten that out. So, anyway, we're trying to get it cooled down in here because it's down to 86 now. It was 90 in here before we got this going. And that old POS up there at 95 degrees, it usually kicks the breaker, but At the moment, it's still going. Don't ask me how. Oh, and the way we're getting by with reminiscing here, there's 2 yellow cords. The one balled up there is the one coming here. That's coming around and through the window. It's right there. Hanging on the vacuum cleaner. Good place to have it. Better than laying on the floor. So anyway, now that, this late in the day, I'm going to grab a bite to eat. I think I'm going to take it over and sit in the basement and cool off over there for a little bit because it is way too freaking hot. Just ask Bristol. We found out last year when it hit 100 degrees outside, before the AC even kicked off in here, we thought we were going to lose her. And she's too old to lose. Ty found her. We were cleaning the big bale barn out, and we were at the far end, right back into the corner. And she was just a little kitten, literally fit in the palm of my hand. There was just her left. We don't know what happened to the rest. Well, Mama was getting them out of there as we were going. We got to her, and Mama hadn't come back. And we think that they may actually be sisters. Maybe. And we were kind of forced to take her. Thailand bottle fed her. And she would walk the back of the feeder where the steers are when Mom fed. And Mom's dog she had at the time was just like the one she has now. If it moves, it's going to kill it. Mom told me after a couple months, she says, if you want that cat to live, you're going to have to take it home. That's how we ended up with house cats. I ain't a cat fan, but I get along with these two. I get along with her more than her. She just gets annoying, gets underfoot, that kind of thing. So, anyway, this may be the end of the video, because really, what is there to show today? Because I'm not going to do anything else. I think I made 20 trips back and forth to the shop to make that piece fit. It's in there good. It ain't going nowhere. I'm good with it. So, yeah, I'm done. Hope you all have a happy 4th. Remember what it's about. And be safe. Whether it's with alcohol or with fireworks, both. Be safe, because God knows right here everything is so frickin' dry. Even that crap out front along the road at the neighbors. If some idiot launches a bottle rocket out there, it's gone. And it's headed this way. I don't need that, but, fingers crossed. So, thanks for watching. Like I said, be safe. And don't wake up on hump day too hungover to enjoy hump day.